I was like, I need anything to just help me right now. But for whatever reason that night, like I didn't drink more. I went to the Bible. So I was just like, God, just give me something, please. Just give me enough to hang on to right now.
What sustains people when life plunges them into darkness and difficulty? I set out to explore and document remarkable faith stories from around the world. My journey led me to San Jose, California, where I met Benjamin, who, in a moment of crisis, found something he never thought he would have again.
I think I'll have Ben come. This is Ben Gallagher. He belongs to Mark and Adana. This is a very sharp little guy, by the way.
When I was younger, we went to the small community church. It was just a place that I really felt like I belonged in. My parents were heavily involved in it. They basically ran it. You know, like a lot of my favorite memories from that period of my life are from church. I remember like we would do plays often, just in our house. Our parents would record us and I would like pretend to be different Bible characters. I remember when I was 8, they would say like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I would tell my parents, I want to be a prophet. I didn't quite know what that entailed at the time, but I knew that I loved that connection with God. And I knew that it was connected to my family. I knew it was connected to my church. And I kind of just felt like that's how it should be.
Ben Gallagher, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay.
I remember it really well. It was a warm night. It was summer. It was kind of like that evening where everything feels a little still, but I could feel that something was wrong. And my parents said, hey, can we talk to you guys outside? So I go outside and it still feels a little dreamlike in my memories, but my parents say, we wanted to tell you guys we're getting a divorce. I didn't believe it. It was just shock, you know? It's like I had this kind of like idealized perfect life. It just didn't feel like it was something that would happen to me. So my parents got into a custody battle. It was not an amicable one. Things they got bad, and it was sort of this promise that like both from my parents and I felt like from God really, there was this idea that like, you know, things are bad for now, but they're gonna get better. And they just kept on getting worse. My dad had a drinking problem. Things became worse and worse in that aspect of our life as well. So between that and the custody battle, I have this growing sense of disillusionment and just this like rejection from God and from my parents. And I think I could only blame my parents so much because I still needed them. So I think a lot of that blame also got put onto God because I had felt so close to him, and all of a sudden he was gone. That church we went to, basically people took sides and it just got ugly. It felt like everything that had been good was no longer there for me. I didn't have the same friends. I didn't have the same church. Most importantly, I didn't have the same family. And I felt like God had left me. And so I just kind of grew increasingly bitter and angry that I wasn't being taken care of. You're also really angry at yourself because you blame yourself. There must be something wrong with me because they're not taking care of me. They're not loving me like I feel like I should be loved. So that must be something wrong with me. So for me, a lot of that anger turned inwards. I started kind of going into drugs and alcohol. I would just drink and do other things until I couldn't think anymore. I looked for any way to fill that hole, to find that escape, to like not feel like I was feeling right then. And I think I really started to hit rock bottom at that point. I just remember coming home at night and just feeling sick, my head spinning. I'm still at home. My dad's passed out in his room. And I just kind of stumble in the door and look at myself in the mirror and not recognizing myself. Just seeing someone who's totally lost. One day, I took this workout class and I met a girl there. I was kind of interested in her. I wanted to get to know her. I was asking like, oh, so like, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing on Sunday? And she said, I'm going to church. Um, I have church and it's going to be like, and I'm going there for like 4 hours. And I was like, that is a ridiculous amount of time to go to church. What are you even doing? Like spending your whole Sunday doing this? I started seeing her, we went on a few dates and I gave it a shot. I went to her church with her and her family. She was a Christadelphian, which was this small church that I never heard of. I didn't know what it was. It wasn't like the big mega church I was used to. They didn't have the band. They had a piano and hymns. I felt something that I had not felt since I was 8. Since I was going to that church when I was younger. This sense of like people who wanted to get to know you, who cared about you and not just kind of like the whole production of what church is, but like a true community. And as I got to know them better, something that really attracted me to it is they were very serious about getting to know the Bible. Like this girl and her family, every night they would do the Bible readings. I desperately needed that structure at that time in my life. I needed that thing like to hang on to say like there's something stable, there's something like out there that isn't going to leave you. At that time, like I was still straddling both worlds. Part of myself was, starting to go to church more and more and to read my Bible more and to get to know this girl more. But part of me was still doing the other things, the drinking and all of this, because frankly, like I just felt awful all the time. It felt like nothing to get me out of this situation. I didn't know where to go. I specifically remember this one night feeling just totally terrible about myself. Just feeling like I can't do this. I can't do this. I just want to end this, end it all. And it felt so painful that I was like, I need anything to just help me right now. But for whatever reason that night, like I didn't drink more. I went to the Bible. I went to Psalm 1 and I just started reading. And I don't know how much went in, how much didn't go in, how much understanding I got, but it was like the only thing I had to hang on to. Just reading Psalm 1, and I read it like 2:00 in the morning, like all the way to the end of Psalms. And then I went back to the beginning of Psalm and I just started reading again. Again, not because I had any idea what I was doing or knew where to go, but just because I didn't know where to go. So I was just like, God, just give me something, please. Just give me enough to hang on to right now. Basically, like as the time went on, that grew stronger. That kind of like that connection to God that I had been missing for so long. The Psalms of David in particular were the ones that really got to me that night. My God, why have you forsaken me? These psalmists, David, just having this real struggle and difficult time and crying out to God. And at the end, like, saying, you are going to save me anyway. Like, that's how almost all of these Psalms end. There's like 90%, like my life is right now is horrible. It's hard. I'm suffering. I'm doing the wrong thing sometimes. And yet I'm going to hold on to that faith. Yeah, I know you will save me. I think I finally got to that point where I was ready to trust God again, ready to give it another shot. God is bigger than all of those things that had happened to me, bigger than all of the anger with God, bigger than my anger at myself. He was bigger than my own failings. He loved me through all of those things, and he'll always be there for you to find him.